Thank you, Acting Speaker, and I rise again to make a further contribution to the Legislative Assembly's Economy and Infrastructure Committee report inquiry into the impact of road safety behaviours on vulnerable road users. And that's why I continue to draw the Minister for Roads, the Minister for Public Transport attention and the Parliament's attention to the 61 findings, 56 recommendations set out in the report to help make our local roads and streets safer and to encourage more public transport take-up. In this respect, I draw the House's attention to the Department of Transport and Planning's, to our recommendation 23, that the Department of Transport and Planning prioritise the delivery of accessible tram stops, and also draw the House's attention to an email I received from a elderly lady, June, in Coburg recently, and she said, I do not need to tell you that our population is ageing rapidly. I'm an 84-year-old and have a fractured spine caused by osteoporosis. For the last 3 years, this condition, plus a severe scoliosis, has meant decreasing mobility for me and forced me to use a walking frame inside and outside my home. Until the fracture, I led a very active life, going to Tai Chi, an exercise class, many activities each week. I'm now unable to attend those physical classes owing to poor balance and loss of mobility. I strive to get out every day, and as I do not drive, I use public transport whenever I can. People are very kind and help me. I use trains and buses more easily than trams, as the number 19 tram service, the one on Sydney Road, seems to have around 50% of its fleet on non-wheelchair accessible carriages. It is impossible to get in or out of our carriages that have interior steps, and the answer perhaps would be to have raised platforms on the street at every stop, and I acknowledge her advocacy, and that's why I continue to call on the government to prioritise the rollout of accessible tram stops, particularly along Sydney Road Route 19, and I acknowledge all those advocates of our community on this issue over the last few years, particularly Christian Asturian, the Sydney Road Accessible Tram Stop campaign, Glenys Romanis, former member of this place too, from the Victorian Transport Action Group, and many others who continue to raise the issue, whom I listen to and support in this endeavour. And I urge the government to pursue that finding as a priority. Finding 12 is about increasing uptake of public transport through better connectivity, accessibility and service frequency to cut the number of vehicles on the road and provide safer environments for vulnerable road users. And recommendation 3 goes to the Victorian government needing to continue to invest in public transport to make it a more attractive option and ensure public transport stops, interchanges and connections are incorporated into planning. And in this respect, Acting Speaker, I welcome the Victorian Labor government's announcement on free public transport for all of April in response to the rising fuel prices and fuel demand as a result of the conflict in the Middle East. We're making public transport free for everyone on all trains, trams and buses. No need for people to tap on or off. Whilst this won't solve everything in the context, of course, of the war in the Middle East, it is one of the immediate steps we're taking to help Victorians with the cost of living and rising demand on petrol and petrol prices. This, of course, builds on our historic free public transport initiatives for youths under 18, saving young people around $750 each, and free public transport for seniors, an initiative we've expanded that will now save seniors around $320 each as well. And I particularly want to acknowledge the hard-working members of the RTBU Union, the Rail Tram and Bus Union, for all the work they do to keep our public transport system going, and of course the Transport Workers Union members too. The other initiative that we've made since that recommendation that goes to the heart of that recommendation as well, Acting Speaker, is the tap and go on public transport trial that we're now undertaking as a first on the Upfield and the Craigieburn lines, which will be suspended for the duration of the free public transport for April, I should add, but will recommence in due course. But from the 16th of March, we began rolling out the tap and go trial technology on public transport, available on passengers travelling on full fare, where passengers simply can tap on and off with a MasterCard, Visa card, debit card, smartphone or smart watch. Specific readers and gates used for the trial have been decorated so passengers know exactly which readers to tap on and go to, and once the trials are successfully completed, tap and go payments will be switched on across the rest of the rail network before being rolled out on trams and buses as well. And in terms of trains, Acting Speaker, we're also making significant progress there too. Last week I was delighted to have joined the Minister for Public Transport at the Metro Trains Training Centre in the CBD to test the full-size Extropolis 2.0 train simulator. Channel 9 covered the story, so you may have caught it, I don't know, but it'll be on my YouTube if you want to have a look. Around 1,000 train drivers have started training on the full-size Extropolis 2.0 train simulator. I had a go of it as well. It's got the actual simulated different routes. I tried it on the Craigieburn line, but I think I'll stick to my day job. And of course, the Upfield and the Craigieburn line are the first lines to be receiving, along with the Frankston line, the new Extropolis 2.0 train once testing is completed. This will mean 10% more train passenger capacity, smoother and more comfortable trips on the most modern of trains for our network. And this, of course, builds on the ongoing investments we've been making to improve local trains on the Upfield and the Craigieburn lines via the new Metro Rail tunnel, the new 20-minute weekend services down from every 40 minutes, new 20-minute weeknight and evening services down from every 40 minutes, which will be rolled out soon. A new timetable from the middle of the year will be rolled out, but we'll continue to take action on public transport and road safety, Acting Speaker.